Hey, yo, as always, it is your boy Squid. It is your boy Squid, man. This is season 2, episode 5 of Hoops and Hash. And you already know what it is. We're going to talk about the Phoenix Suns, how they've skidded a little bit to a stop after starting off pretty hot. Again, we take into consideration this kind of schedule that they've had. But the Suns are looking good. Suns are looking decent. And I think they have a long ways to go. We're going to talk about that in today's episode. Again, this is season 2, episode 5 of Hoops and Hash. I hope that you got something to light yourself because we're going to get to it. You already know. So, if you've noticed, I typically try to start every episode with some Phoenix Suns stats. So at the time of recording, the Phoenix Suns are 15 and 13. They're still sitting at 7th in the West. For me, my indicator or what I try to focus on is games back, of course, but not games back of first or second. I'm trying to look at games back of the 4th seed. Of course, that means home court advantage. The Suns currently are 4.5 games back of having any kind of home court advantage in the Western Conference. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think when teams are meddling with that 7th and 8th seed, of course, that's not a great spot to be in, especially in the Western Conference where, 4 playoff spots can be separated by 2 or 3 games. So definitely needing the Suns to get some easy wins or, easier wins, I should say, as we near the end of December and as we look forward to January. Something that I find to be really encouraging is the fact that the Phoenix Suns right now, they lead the league in steals per game. They've led the league in steals per game for a couple weeks now, or at least seemingly for a couple weeks now. And aside from the 11 steals per game that they are racking up, they are also 6th in the NBA, I think tied for 6th in the NBA in points off turnovers. Jordan Knott has definitely gotten the Suns team to, get deflections, get hands on balls, get steals in these games. And if you get the ball, we run it. And so the Suns have done a really good job at not only, and I pointed this out in the last episode, it's not even necessarily that the Suns are forcing that many turnovers per se. They're just leading the league in steals specifically. So they are running and they've got to keep doing that, especially with the youth that this Phoenix Suns team has. Something that I found to be shocking. And again, just trying to be mindful that these stats are at the time of recording. So the Suns are somehow still top 10 in the league in defensive rating. I figured after the last couple of games that we've had, the Suns defense hasn't looked great. I feel like we've given up a lot of open shots. At least we gave up a ton of open shots in both of the Golden State games. The Minnesota game, even though we walked away with the win, it just felt like there were so many open shots that we gave up. And of course, defensive rating doesn't go into specifically open shots, but to me, it just seemed like the defense hadn't been that great in the last couple of games, but somehow, some way, the Suns are still ranked 9th in the league right now in defensive rating. So defense is still being the Phoenix Suns calling card, getting these extra possessions, going after 50-50 balls, and just really making it tough on the opposition on the defensive end. The Suns have been solid. I think that also speaks to the fact that the Suns offense, it's seemingly been sputtering the last 2 or 3 games, but the defense has stayed locked in. The Phoenix Suns organization, the Phoenix Suns team, historically speaking, has never been viewed as a good defensive team. They were always looking to have a good offense, an incredible offense. This Phoenix Suns team, aside from the 3-point shooting, they are really having pride in playing defense, connected team defense. And they've looked good in doing so, even in the games that, the Suns have had opportunities to win, just still showed good flashes and good signs of, what's to come and what we can expect throughout the season from the Suns. This is where it kind of gets unfortunate. So Suns defense has looked good, but, the Suns offense has sputtered a little bit recently. The Suns offensive rating continues to slide. I think at the time of the last podcast, I believe the Suns were looking at 12th or 13th in the NBA in terms of offensive rating. They've only dropped a couple spots now to 15th, and the Suns shooting continues to regress to the mean. This is another thing that I was a little bit afraid of, just with how the Phoenix Suns have been shooting the leather off the ball. I figured at some point the Suns would regress to the mean. They've slid from 4th to 12th in the league in terms of 3-point field goal percentage. So if you recall the last episode, the Suns at that time, they were number 4, I believe, in 3-point field goal percentage, as well as 4th in total 3-pointers made. I did not get the tally on the 3-pointers made, but I did see that the Suns have dropped a little bit from top 5 to now outside the top 10 in terms of 3-point field goal percentage. So just needing to make more of these shots. Devin Booker and his incredible gravity, I feel like he's setting the Suns up to make these shots. And it's not even that the Suns are taking bad shots. It's just one reason or another, the shots are just not falling, or at least they haven't been falling over the course of the last 5 or 6 games. But in some brighter news, Royce O'Neal and Colin Gillespie, they both round out the top 15 in three-pointers made this season. Royce is sitting at 13th. I believe he's technically tied for 11th, but in terms of ranking, Royce is 13th in the league in three-pointers made, and Colin Gillespie is ranked 15th in the league in three-pointers made. So Suns are still shooting well, especially in volume. They've just gotten a little less efficient these last 5-6 games, and it doesn't help when Booker sat out for 2 or 3 of them, but we're hoping to get Jalen Green back soon. At the time of recording, we actually find out that he's got another 2 to 3 weeks before he gets even reevaluated. We'll get to that later. So the Suns just looking to shoot the ball better, because for a short time there, they looked automatic. They looked like the Golden State Warriors to an extent, but now they've again just regressed to the mean a little bit, which was expected, but hoping to just kind of get back on the horse and shooting the damn ball, because we're getting a lot of good open shots. We just need those to fall. Definitely need them to fall. We were talking about something to be encouraged with, Royce O'Neal and Colin Gillespie rounding out the top 15 in terms of total three-pointers made this season. Another thing that's encouraging, Book, man, seemingly out of that slump, at least the scoring slump. Book had gone 2 weeks pre-injury, right? He had gone 2 weeks without scoring 25 points in a game. Now, the 3 games since he's been back from injury, he scored 25 or more in each. He's actually averaging 30 points per game over the last 3 games that he's been back from injury. So it seems like he's kind of getting into his stride. I like the fact that he's picking his spots really well, but the cold-blooded killer that he is as a scorer, I'm just hoping that, he shows that a little bit more. He's an incredible playmaker, and I think he's making the right plays. I think he's doing an incredible job at setting up his teammates to get wide open shots. His gravity is just incredible. But there are times when the Suns' offense can get a little bit stagnant, and as a Suns fan, we know who Devin Booker is. We've seen what he can do and how he lights up. And it's just, it can be real frustrating sometimes when it seems like he's looking off opportunities that otherwise, when he's looking to score, he could get to that spot and get the easy 2 points, or at least get to the free throw line. Just looking for Book to maintain that killer mindset and keep scoring the ball, because we're absolutely going to need that out of him, especially if our shooters are going to kind of fall back down to earth a little bit. You're Devin Booker. Get your buckets, boy. Now, looking ahead, the Suns have a game against the Lakers December 23rd, and there will be no Luka, right? And I hate to be dramatic when I say that I think that this has to be a must win, but no Luka in this game, you really ask yourself, who's going to be the role player that loses their mind against the Suns tomorrow? Because it always happens. Every time that the Suns play somebody and they're down a star, there's a random role player that loses their ever-loving mind. Is it going to be Jake LaRavia, whatever his damn name is? Who's it going to be? Gabe Vincent? He going to go for 25? Who's it going to be? Because every time the Suns play a team and their star goes out, there's some sort of next man fucking up off the bench who loses their mind against the Suns. So I'm looking at the Suns versus the Lakers game as a must win for several reasons. First and foremost, what comes to mind is the tiebreaker, right? The tiebreaker is obvious. That's really easy. Other things to look at, just looking at the schedule for December 23rd, right? So the Spurs are playing OKC. I'm hoping that OKC wins that game in a revenge game. I will never cheer for OKC, but this, in terms of the games back and everything that we can look ahead to, we need the Spurs to start losing games. They've been playing incredibly well. I would never wish that in any universe after what the Spurs have done to me as a Suns fan. So that being said, we need them to start losing games, and I hope that starts tomorrow against OKC. Minnesota, the Timberwolves, they're playing the Knicks. That's going to be a hell of a matchup. I'm really excited to watch that game. Also hoping that Minnesota loses for the sake of these games back. That's another team ahead of the Suns. We need them to start losing, and with how hot Ant has been from the floor, it's going to be it's going to be a tall task for New York, but I hope they get it done. Beat Minnesota. And then last but not least, it just sucks that Houston is playing the Clippers. The Clippers are butt ass, and Houston, barring a complete meltdown, Houston, I don't think they're going to lose to the Clippers tomorrow. So with the Houston Rockets being that 6th seed, and I believe they're 2 games, maybe 1.5 games ahead of us, I don't see them losing tomorrow to the Clippers. So that means that the Suns must also, it is a must win. They badly need to beat the Luka-less Lakers tomorrow. Well, on December 23rd. Something else to look ahead, man. I mean, it's obvious. Everybody has noticed. Mark Williams' role has shrunken, at least in the last few games. And I just feel like that can't happen. I don't care if the other team is playing small ball. I do not care. Mark Williams simply has too much impact and way too much upside to get any less than 30 minutes per game. Now, the good thing is that Jordan Knott already acknowledged this as, looking, not necessarily admitting it as a mistake, but more so viewing it as an opportunity to reevaluate and just try to make sure that we're getting the most efficient and the most effective lineups together as possible. Jordan Knott has routinely shut me the fuck up. So this is not an indictment on his coaching. The fact that, like I said, the fact that he even acknowledged it post game of like, hey, you know what? I don't think it's a mistake, but I think it's something that we can reevaluate. That's beautiful. Don't play Mark Williams less than 30 minutes per game unless it is an injury management night or unless he is in foul trouble. Please and thank you always, your boy Squid. Lastly, in terms of looking ahead, I desperately need Jordan Ott, Devin Booker, and Dylan Brooks to empower and encourage Ryan Dunn to be more confident on offense. I don't know what goes into that, and it's hard to say. I'm by no means a professional athlete, but I look at Ryan Dunn's athleticism. Like, we talk about fast twitch fibers. We talk about his ability to get that second jump off really quickly, and just explosion to the rim and at the rim. It's incredible. So Ryan Dunn as an athlete, I desperately need him to get more confident on offense, whether that's as a slasher, whether that's as a driver, whether that's as a catch and shoot in the corner or on the wing, whatever. On offense, if niggas are looking at you like Tabo Cephalosha, it's basically a 5-on-4. And it's that simple. If teams have watched enough tape to know that, they just kind of have to half close out on you on a 3, or they can kind of leave you open because you're not like that, that's a rough place to be in. I think Ryan Dunn is, again, too athletic and too talented not to be more confident. I mean, the only reason I'm not killing him in this aspect is because he's still really young, really young. This is still really early in his career, and his calling card has definitely not been take over on offense. But if I could just get him to, on a swing pass to the corner, straight to the rim baseline, or even on the wing, he's on the wing. That ball gets reversed to him, doing a fake pass, almost like a jab, back right to the middle. And it sucks that Buddy can't make his free throws. I would say to go to the rim and force the contact, but one, the referees are swallowing their whistles, don't remember how to use them bitches. And the fact that, goddamn it, Ryan Dunn, if you do get to the rim, you're gonna miss your free throws. So I think obviously, I'm not trying to smear him. If anything, I'm a real big fan of Ryan Dunn. Like I said, I just think he's too talented and too athletic to not have more confidence on offense. And I don't know where that stems from. I don't know what goes into that, but I would love to see a Ryan Dunn that looks at the rim just a little more frequently. Because again, if opposing teams are looking at you as a guy who is almost deliberately not looking to score the ball, that's just as good as a 5-on-4. They can junk up the defense. They can leave you alone and let you take shots that you're likely not going to take if they just kind of close out on you or leave you open to take it. So would love to see that next step in Ryan Dunn's development, again, whether it's as a catch and shoot corner 3-point specialist or a slash, just slashing more or driving more. I just think he can provide more on offense if he has a little more confidence in doing so. And some final thoughts, man. Colin Gillespie, I gotta call you out, my boy. And before anybody goes crazy because I'm saying I'm gonna call you out, right? I have sung the praises from the mountaintops. Colin Gillespie, especially the way he's been shooting the ball this season. I already told you earlier in this podcast, he is 15th in the league in total 3-pointers made. Undrafted free agent, by the way. So Colin Gillespie, he's done such an incredible job at earning the Suns more possessions. I think his hustle and I think his ability to rebound, especially as an undersized guard, I think his ability to do all of the little things, I think that will go a long way. And I think that is going to get him paid in this league, right? The only thing I got to call out is the fact that since I pointed out that 5 game stretch, right? He had a scorching 5 game stretch where he made 25 threes over the course of 5 games, and I think it was on 52% shooting. Since then, it's been a little ugly. I think right now, since that 5 game stretch in which he made 25 3-pointers on 52% shooting, I think he has since made 10 3-pointers across 6 games, I think on 27% shooting. But Colin Gillespie has since gone cold since that scorching 5 game span. So I don't think the confidence has gone anywhere. I don't think that's a problem at all. I think he's just hoping to get a few more of these to fall, especially after he saw just how well he can shoot the ball. And I think it's also a result of the league finding out, okay, yeah, this boy can shoot. Buddy can shoot the fucking ball. I think that he's starting to, not attract different defenses, but I think defenses are starting to take him a little bit more seriously now that they've seen enough tape of him scorching teams from deep. Hustle and the extra plays and heart that can only take you so far. We also need you to hit them open shots and feel confident in doing so. So Colin Gillespie fell off a little bit, but I know he's going to come back even harder. Whether that's before the new year or not, we gonna see. Last but not least, with Jalen Green getting reevaluated today, God, I'm about to jump out my window off my balcony. I'm finna swan dive off that bitch. Jalen Green getting reevaluated today, and they talking about he gonna get reevaluated in 2 to 3 more weeks. I ain't even mad at him, and I tweeted about this too. I'm not even mad at him. He was an Iron Man in Houston. He was an Iron Man. Rarely missed any games. As soon as he puts on a Phoenix Suns jersey, this man has now played 5 quarters of basketball in 28 games. And I don't blame him. The Suns are just cursed. It's just what happens. I don't know if anybody gave Jalen Green a heads up before he got here that it just comes with the territory of being a Phoenix Suns fan, player, coach, anything affiliated with the Phoenix Suns, or I guess anything affiliated with Arizona sports in general. I don't know if anybody told this nigga, but we're cursed. It just sucks whatever setback he might have had, or maybe he's still on track and it's just, still taking a little bit longer than we'd all expected. We're just all so much looking forward to seeing him play. And obviously we want him to take his time and don't come back too soon like I thought he was doing anyways. We don't want him to come back too soon. But damn, we're just, we're all excited to see him play. I think that'll take a lot of pressure off of Book and Brooks, but also just, being able to watch what we were all highly anticipating since the summer. So I hope he can get right. They said 2 to 3 weeks. I'm hoping it's 2, but if it needs to be 3, by all means. But 3 weeks from today, that would mean that the Suns had played another 10 games without him. And I think that in that span, I predict the Suns going 7-3, maybe 6-4, health permitting, right? So another 10 games to look forward to without Jalen Green, at least another 10 games without Jalen Green. And I think the Suns can go 7-3. Maybe 6-4 in that span. So really excited about the Phoenix Suns this season, even though they've skidded a little bit. The Phoenix Suns are 4-6 over their last 10 games. Of course, they're 2-4 over their last 6. I'm still really excited about what the Suns have, the product that the Suns have put on the floor this season. Book post-game, or not even post-game, Book was getting interviewed, I believe, by Dwayne Rankin, and he even acknowledged that this team is consistently playing hard. And I think that, I hate to sound like someone who's okay with losing, because losing is the fucking worst. I hate losing. But as a fan, especially given what the Suns fans had to go through the last 2-3 years, a team that plays hard from start to finish is a team that will be loved by anybody. Obviously, you want to win the game at the end of the day, but this Phoenix Suns team has a lot of pride. This Phoenix Suns team has a lot of heart. And if there's anything that we can appreciate about this Phoenix Suns team, win, lose, or draw, every single game, they are approaching it with intensity. They are prepared. They're connected. And, whether they get down big early or they go up big, even though we just lost a game where we were up 14. The Suns, they look composed. They look ready to fight, and they look ready to stay in any game. And so something to look forward to in every one of these Suns games, at least so far this season, even with the injuries, even with the shit ass officiating. We can look forward to this Phoenix Suns team playing hard and playing together. And that's kind of corny, but damn, if you watch the Phoenix Suns last year, even the year before, man, this season has been incredibly refreshing, even when we've lost a couple games that we absolutely could have and should have taken home. So this is going to conclude episode 5, season 2 of Hoops and Hash. I hope that you had an opportunity to put some in the air for yourself. You know that I always do. I'm probably going to be back in another week and a half or so. It's crazy that I hadn't done a pod in 2 weeks, but in the 2 weeks, the Suns only played 6 games. So love that for them. Don't love that for me. We'll see if I'll have another episode before New Year's. With this being the 22nd that I'm recording, it's going to drop on the 23rd at the earliest. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, whatever you celebrate. Just be well, be safe. And I appreciate you giving the pod a listen. Looking forward to more Suns wins and being able to talk about that in episode 6. So be well, be kind, and be safe. We out.